Good evening, everyone. I am currently recording this at 11:15 at night where I'm at. So, it may not be a good evening where you're at, but it certainly is for me. How is everyone doing today? And welcome to another installment of the MRL Fastlane. Here to talk about a wonderful race that we had going on. We had a big, well, I guess a lot of storylines going into this race. I guess, should I say, some good, some bad. A lot of good momentum shifts going into this for fun season, as well as those that probably we don't want to quite talk about. Some that they want to forget, but we're gonna get to that here in a second. How is everyone doing today? We had a brand new season of MRL racing for the finale of NASCAR Heat 5 start this past weekend at Talladega. Yes, both the Cup Series as well as the Lights Series was at Talladega. We had a good sized field actually. 18 actually join us for the Cup side of things. I know it's black screen right now. It'll start going when we unpause it. But yeah, we had 18 officially start up their engines with us here on Cup side of things. However, 17 will actually take the green because unfortunately, Baseball Kid lagged on out almost as soon as the race started. So that is unfortunate from him, but it's always nice to see that he still came on out and he will get points for just showing up. So that's how that works. But anyway. Talladega. We had a bit of a momentum shift, as I had previously stated, going into this race. A lot of people had this race circled for most of the season because Talladega is one of the greatest opportunities to win. Just for all intents and purposes, you will probably have a better chance at winning at Talladega than you do at Bristol, Atlanta, which we're going to next week, by the way. But yes, we had a good sized number of drivers start with us tonight, and actually, let's just kind of go into the qualifying side of things. So this is the lineup for the Cup side of things. Not everyone on this list. In the race is on this list because some were very late entries. But Liam actually was able to get pole. So this was his second career pole. The first being in Xfinity, now Lights Series, by the way. I want to make that distinction now. Because as we transition to the new game, the Xfinity Series is now Lights. Xander was outside of row 1. Brandon, B-Roy Racing, and P3. Goose US Track Enterprise P4. Now, BS was P5. Now, you may see why this is a custom here is because the Lights exclusives from Season 0, everyone is allowed to race in this season. It does not matter if you are a Lights exclusive, a part-timer, a full-timer, or you're just in the Cup Series. You are able to run in there, and to kind of distinguish yourself, you can run a custom scheme. So because of that, he's running a number 98, because that was his Lights number, in a custom scheme. So BS was P5, Worst Cod P6, and then we go down here for Hunty. The 00, I know it only says 0 there, but trust me, it's a 0. Nathan would have lined up P8, but he was not able to join us, so T-Bird gets that spot instead. Dude did not show. BD, MH, Baseball Kid, Jagger. Then we go down to Pied Piper as well as Joe. Those are the ones that are on this list. After that, we had a couple new drivers with us, like Justin Shackett. Well, not Justin Shackett, but he was not on this list, but Justin Shackett. We had Keith, one of the newest people going into this race. Keith is now, I guess as of recording this, just signed with RWI. That is Ramsey Wallace Incorporated, and he actually made his start with us in this race. Other than that, we had people that have been with us for a hot second. Like I said, we had Justin Shackett, which you're not going to see on here. We also had Joe, like I said, very making his very few starts right down here as well. But yeah, we all these guys, we had a stacked field. Like I said, 17 actually taking the green flag, so you can actually see that right now. Unlike Daytona, I will openly talk about that. Unlike Daytona, it was not a wreckfest. We did actually have some green flag racing, and it was actually, weirdly enough, like every 10 laps or so. It was really bizarre, honestly. It seems like 10 laps, kind of like Texas in the way, last season in season 0, if you recall, that we actually had a big moment going with the, I guess I should say, Texas pitting every 10 laps. You know, that is, or is not pitting every 10 laps, having a caution every 10 laps. But as you can see right now, as we are going into this restart zone, this is kind of essentially how this would kind of go on out. You had a restart, and we actually had manual cautions this time, so you can actually see that sometimes we actually had the ability to actually start the race manually. Of course, we always do a pace lap in order to get into our qualifying positions, but this is where the big part of knowing your stuff, we would have 2 manual cautions, meaning we would have 3 separate instances for just wrecking. So like after that, you would have a big moment going into a race to the flag, and then you would be able to go under caution. So right here, you can see how crazy the restarts can be, and this is why I wanted to kind of show on off here, is that just how adept people are about going to the top or bottom. You have, of course, people choosing the top side. Some people are forced kind of up there, kind of like what Worscott was in the 34 of MH. You have those guys that were really kind of forced out there, but there was also some that were able to go to the bottom, like UK Keith. But right there, that was already the big one. So that was actually because of lag. So I want to point on out, the servers have not been kind to us lately. Server lag was a huge deal in this race, and actually the entire weekend. I think, if I recall correctly, apart from Saturday. Apart from Monday, sorry, I'll get it right eventually. We had the opening wreck the opening caution be because of lag, and I think that's all, the Monday being the exemption from that. So yeah, lag was definitely a big thing. Brandon had multiple lag instances. Hunty was a really bad lag. Liam was lagging. You can see it right there. Really bad lag. But that just showed exactly how important it was in order to get track position, because you didn't know when a caution was going to come on out. But like I said, even when you did have a caution, whether it be in-game or manual, you can actually see just how crazy the restarts was. That just, again, shows how bad the lag was. That's no fault from Liam. I mean, that's just it's unfortunate though. Yeah, I don't know what Worscott was doing right there though. But because of that, you had a big to do about track position. You can see the people that are really going all out. UK in the 18 here especially are trying to do their best in order to get up front. Justin Shackett as well. The Von Poon teammates all finding themselves in a line right now. That's just what I'm getting at. Let's kind of skip forward a little bit. So at this point in the run, we are too wide. And now I want to point out just how potent. We don't really see it most of the time. Cade with another lag incident right there. That was a big. Like I said, it just was a an issue all night. Just how big the runs were getting up on top here. You were actually able to have multiple lines. You know, unlike most super speedways, you were able to see the top and the bottom work in unison, as well as the top actually be able to kind of pull forward a little bit, despite the preferred lane being the bottom. And that's what we love about this kind of racing. Of course, there's no stages. We are straight up going to the end. That being said, though, without stages, people had a big thing when it came to pit stops. I'm going to try to find exactly where it was, because most of the time, most of the people were actually pitting under caution in order to get everything squared away. But as pit stops were kind of looming, you can see the people start getting into a single file line. And of course, you know, that's kind of where people have to be at that point. But like a single file line is essentially where you know, you kind of have to be. I apologize for the screen kind of blacking out there for a hot second. I'm just making sure that everything is all good in terms of my recording. Just make sure I'm actually being heard. So because of that, we have single file. People were, of course, encouraged to not just verbally say, yeah, I'm pitting, as US Trick made a wonderful move right there, but also to go beneath the yellow line, all four tires preferably, to kind of go on down there. But it looks like I'm just trying to find exactly where the pit stops were, but yeah, they were coming up here pretty dang soon, because there was a big ol' incident that came because of it. Let me actually see exactly where I can find it. Yep, right here. So to kind of not spoil everything, so we had this entire, like, half of this front pack, which is about 14 wide, going down, but you have people going all the way down. Everyone sped in this pack. I don't know what they were doing. The one of Xander, you may have blinked and you missed it. He actually missed pit road. That's why he's gunning it right now. It's bizarre. The most bizarre thing I have ever seen. I have never seen in all of my time in league racing history, or even commentating. You have people, the entire pack of cars speed, and if you actually watch my broadcast, you can actually hear me just be like, what the heck happened? Where's Scott also missed pit road right there. That's why he's blasting through. I was taken aback. I was not prepared for what happened, because everyone in that entire first pack sped. The most bizarre thing. You'd have to have been there in order to see it. But anyway, thankfully, though, they all come out as a pack because they all sped. But it's just funny, though, because now at this point in the race, we're about halfway. It comes down to, it's all coming down to fuel strats. And you can actually see that as the first group. So the pack of cars that did not pit that one time, they are already down. They're already on the backstretch, you know, but they are saving. And so we're going to kind of skip on ahead here. So here's the first pack right here. And you can actually see in the background, I think I turned right just quickly enough, but that second pack is much more organized. Look at that. They are nose and stern. They are blasting lap time right now. You can see it right there in the foreground. That is the first pack. These guys, yes, they're not worried about fuel. They are just rocking and rolling right now. So that is one of the things that you love to see here, especially when it comes to something like that. But you can actually see that because of that, they will not have the benefit of fuel. But anyway, so let's kind of skip on ahead a little bit more. So that was actually essentially the biggest thing about that. But right now you can see that these guys have almost caught them. These guys are saving fuel right now. These guys aren't. But that just shows that these guys are all in a party right now. They're talking, hey, no, we can catch these guys. These guys lost 15 seconds. So I'm going to give my kudos of the race to this entire pack. So led by BD Deadman, right behind is Brandon, Joe. Then we have Pied Piper right there, Jagger, MH, and then Cade being in the caboose on this train. I don't think there's anyone behind him actually, but yeah, you can see that right now. Those guys. Oh no, BS is back there. But yeah, these guys are absolutely blasting lap times. And actually, when they do catch, which is here like in one hot second. BD is already on the cusp of getting the draft, and actually, hang on, hold up. I think it's this time, this lap right here. Yeah, right here. BD starts getting that draft. Liam, I actually liked what Liam was doing right here. So Liam was actually kind of helping these guys get draft, but by doing so, he's actually able to kind of cover them off. So Liam had a really good move. Justin Shackett right there had a bit of a moment, but everyone kind of hold station. That did kind of kill their momentum a little bit, but not enough for them to actually like totally lose it here. These guys know that they caught him, so UK went to the top, kind of cover them off. BD is going to go 3 wide, but because of that, you have Pied Piper stuck in the middle, and Kate, a big moment right there. Joe on the apron. Joe gets screwed out of that, but the biggest thing that we have right here, though, is a caution that comes on out because of another lag incident. And like I said, half of this stuff was caused because of lag, which is very unfortunate. We had a battle to the line. This is a manual. That's why we're so on board with these guys right now and how they're so racing. But yeah, this was I do believe our first manual of the race, and because of that, we will kind of skip on ahead. We're going to go into the biggest things towards the end. We have a multiple instances. Actually, hang on. Hold up. Where are we at here? Yeah. So, yeah, right here. So we have, unfortunately, a kind of a string of yellows to kind of speed up this process a little bit. Lag, again, just being an ever-present thing right there. You have these guys that are essentially we're just rocking and rolling. People don't want to run behind Cade. You have lag that was kind of happened because of BD, I think. Yeah, right there. So he received a warning because of it. But one thing I want to point out, though, is people are just going. We went 4 wide there for a hot second. I didn't even see that the first time around. But yeah, Keith on the outside, he's doing the best he can right now. But as things go on, it just kind of turns into a bit of every 10 laps there's a caution. Joe gets to the point, and he is now leading. But unfortunately, when it comes down to the long and short of it, we are down to, I think right here, overtime. It goes to overtime. We had a caution, and I think actually for position, because people were going for, Nathan actually pointed out, 10 lap runs at a time. Now this is overtime at this point. It is all gun-ho here. To kind of point on out, the entire top 3 of the top 5 right now are currently winless, just period. In career... an MRL career, they are winless right now, but you can see just how aggressive people are. Jagger gets put into the wall, and because of that, we are going to have another yellow. And it just kind of goes and rinses and repeats right there. Again, second time the charm here, yellow. Now at this point, this is the second overtime, going into the third. We begin to see some people having to pit, which is why Pied Piper is no longer the leader. Kate is. That's because, weirdly enough, strategy in overtime actually came into play. Did you save enough in order to not pit? There were some that did. There were some that didn't. Now, one thing I'm going to point out now is we're going to have another yellow here in one hot second. There it is. And this is actually coming to the line. It got called, literally, in the tri-oval. Another one. There we go. So again, we stack them and rack them one more time. And this is the 4th overtime. Let me just reiterate that. So now, T-Bird had a wonderful move to the outside right there. BD thinks better of it. He tried to go 3 wide, but he didn't have the momentum. This is the last... going into the final lap before overtime can be called yet again. And now I think people are just, like, done with this race. I know I was. But another caution comes out. I actually don't know what actually caused that this time. A Pied Piper, because of that, unfortunately does leave the race. I mean, I don't blame him. But this is the last time that we are going for broke right now. People are still being hyper aggressive, and that's what actually earns people a couple warnings right now, and that's one thing I want to point on out. So like I said, going into this race, you have people spinning right there. That was because of Jagger right there, overcorrecting. But either way, this entire overtime, people were being hyper aggressive. So I'm going to kind of take you on board with this entire lap, and we're going to have multiple POVs of it. But you can see right now that this is actually, we will actually go and actually take our final lap here. So right now, T-Bird is actually out in front. Joe is in P2. We have taken the white flag. This race is official now. BD, though, going down low right there, thinks better of it, kind of lets on off, knowing that was below the yellow line. Cade building up a gap right now. Xander in P4, pushing Cade. Joe goes high. T-Bird. Now, ooh, yikes. That is no-no right there. So, because of that, Cade is below the yellow line, does not relinquish the position. But while all that's going on, UK Wildcats goes around the outside. Unfortunately, BD gets kind of knocked into by the 51. However, you have Cade that's still down low, not relinquishing the position. And because of that, it's far too far gone for that. UK is going to take the win here in his first MRL Cup podium. So let's break that on down. You have, and I'm gonna actually run this in super slow-mo. So give me one hot second here. So all right, you can argue, and there we go, that there is a gap right here. All right. And because of that, you can fit a car beneath that gap. So, that would be legal. And at that point, if he gets knocked down below the yellow line, that would actually be T-Bird's position. That would get penalized. But Cade swung to the left right here and dipped below the yellow line himself in order to make that work. Now, that is a penalty. He was not forced. He went below the yellow line in order to gain an advantage. This is something that was argued, but the rules are the rules. It's just like in real NASCAR. He went below the yellow line, and at that point, he did not relinquish the position. He was not forced down there. He went down there himself. See? Right down there. This is before. He's still down there by his own volition, below the yellow line. Now, one thing I want to point out is no one is talking about UK on the outside here. Got the draft from Joe right here. We went 4 wide. UK is all the way over here. Now, we want to point out about what's... That's not it. That's subtitles. Playback speed. There we go. UK went around the outside. BD went with them right here. So because of that, Cade is classified as the last of the lead lap runners and will finish in P16 for this race. Piper will be P17 because he left. So let's look at another POV of it. Here is T-Bird's POV. So huge shout out to him. Yeah, let's kind of check on out, see what he saw throughout this entire race. So he used the classic chase cam right now. You can see that Joe is in his mirror. He is closing on in. He timed it to perfection, but he gets his momentum instantly just is gone. And right there, Cade below the yellow line. Clear as day. So because of that, T-Bird is not relinquishing the position, thinking that Cade is just going to back off himself. They knock bumpers. He loses momentum, and because of that, here that was accidental right there. But T-Bird is now side-drafting Xander to push UK. UK went on a round, and now here we are pushing to the line, and you will see the exact distance that it is. It is over a car length from Cade. And now, like I said, Cade is going to be classified last lead lap runner, so T-Bird gets P2, Xander P3. But we're not done with the POVs, because I'm sorry for the terrible quality, but here is UK's POV. Yeah, you have... this was actually what happened the lap before. Keith, unfortunately, wreck avoidance right there. That may be clip of the week material right then and there. But you can see that he underfueled. He is one lap shy. If this was another overtime, he would not have made it. But UK is timing his run right now. He was able to get on through. Just kind of point on out, before this run, he was in P9. You can see that, P9. But now, in this run, you can see that there's a bit of a checkup. He goes high. He drafts off of Joe, and then he goes high again. No one else is up here. This is open track. 4 wide. UK goes on around. He is almost out of fuel. In fact, he actually clicks over to 0 here in 1 hot second. Like I said, if this was another overtime, he would have lost. Right there. He absolute timing perfection. T-Bird gives him the draft. He did not go 3 wide because that may have actually have done him in right there, but that is the end of the race. So yeah, shout out to T-Bird. Give him a sub right here, as well as UK. Thank you so much for sending in the clips. So let's look at the official results. So you have UK, T-Bird P2, Xander P3, BD P4, Hunty top 5, Brandon P6, Joe P7, Justin Shaka P8, Keith P9. Excellent job in his first race. Keith P9, MH P10, US Trek Goose P11, Worscott P12, BS P13, Liam P14, and Jagger P15. Then we get down to Cade with his penalty, down to P16. Pied Piper P17, and Baseball Kid, because of where he was in, and didn't even technically take the green, P18. So because of that, we have the finale of this race. You have the points right here. Pretty simple, honestly. Basically where everyone finished. There was a lot of people that led. There was a lot of people that didn't. So like that's why MH actually got it over Keith here, because Keith did not lead a lap. MH did. You have, as well as Worst Cod as well, taking over like US Trek. But essentially, the points are pretty self-explanatory. Same thing with the stats as well. But one thing that is new, actually, one thing I want to point out though, is that UK went from last on the field because he literally was not racing up until like 5 minutes before the race actually started. So he went from last to first. So golf clap for him. Definitely driver of the day material. But other than that, though, you have a new introduction to the team standings. This is just for fun, honestly, just for fun. But VPR, Vampoon Racing, with their lineup of Brandon, BD, Piper, Cade, and BS. Excellent run, guys. So far, leading the team championship for the Cup Series by 262 points. That's a lot. But yeah, excellent run, you guys. This has, honestly, while the overtimes was annoying, it definitely was fun to actually see how everything was kind of stacked on out. Honestly, it was a good season opener. We are going to Atlanta this next week, so hopefully we can catch everyone there. Thank you guys so much for watching this. You may be wondering, where's the power rankings? Well, that's going to be its own thing here coming up on the league Twitter. So make sure to give us a follow right here. That will be where the power rankings will be posted week after week after week. So hopefully we can catch you all there. Thank you guys so much for coming on in and watching. Y'all been an absolute pleasure to to race for, as well as to kind of give you this little rundown for. So thank you guys, and we will catch you in the next one. Peace.